What is happening, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy. I'm trying to get the lighting here. Fix that for you. C-Dub, you guys let me know how the lighting is working because I'm trying to get it all nice and purdy, but it's a little bit not the best situation in this room. I think that's better. What's happening to everybody? It's your boy, and I am here to talk to you guys today. So I hope all is going well. Real quick, just checking out a couple of different things, and I hope you guys are all doing well. So 6 of you hopping in real quick. What's up to all you guys? The chat is over here if you want to say something to me. I appreciate all of you joining me today. Make sure you guys are smashing that like button when you're hopping in so that we get enough people out there. The more times you guys hit that like button, obviously the better off we're going to be as far as the audience today. It'll spread out to more people's feeds and whatnot, so that's always a good thing. So again, thanks for joining me. I got a list of about 6 pre-questions, so as you come in, if you do have a question, you can hit me up in the chat and ask it. And if you do want to hit me up in the chat, just ask whatever you want to know and I'll get to it. I may be reading other questions at the time, but I will scroll back and get to it. Don't sweat it. And again, the super chat is available down there, $ if you want to donate. And if not, all good. I appreciate all of you. So I want to hop right into talking to you guys about the questions. So the first question that I got, the person was, and I wrote down some of the names. I forgot some of the names, so I apologize in advance, but it was Go Cool Hacks and Facts. And they said that they're weighing less, but they're looking more overweight. So a while ago, they were weighing, I think they had said 270, and then now they are 240. And so they've lost 30 pounds. But they said they feel like they look more chubby than they did previously, and they wanted to know what that was all about. And so I think there's a lot of things that could be happening there. I don't think it's something to panic over or to worry about, but you can lose muscle. So if it has been over the course of a long time and it is something that isn't in, that you did previous to like doing OMAD or doing intermittent fasting, I think that can be something that can mess with you. So that's something to think about. And I just noticed on my phone, I looked down and I've got chat flying, and on my screen I have no chat. So I'm going to try to look at the chat on my phone as I go. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but not on the screen that I'm on. So if you see me looking up, I'm looking up at the chat. I apologize for that. But what's happening, John, and what's happening, Rose? It's good to see you guys, and Miss Lafayette. And man, it's everybody's turning out. I appreciate you guys. Hello, Randy Trucker. I appreciate you, man. JC, what's happening? Did I get experience? Okay, I'll get to you in 1 second, Miss Lafayette. Let me finish answering this question. So you can lose muscle mass without and lose bunches of weights and look completely different. And so that is something to consider. If you feel like you're losing muscle mass, if you're doing extended fasts, it could be that. If it's OMAD, you shouldn't be losing muscle. But if you're going on these big, long, extended fasts, sometimes that messes up and can take away some of your muscles. Increase your protein. Make sure you're not fasting for too long a period of time. Anything under 24 hours should be fine. 24 hours or under, but you should basically worry about keeping your protein levels up. And it says that I'm going to be disconnected here, but I see everybody, so I hope it continues to go. I don't know if that's just the chat feature. It's acting up a little bit here on my end. So let me see what Ms. Lafayette said over here. So, all right, did you experience weight fluctuations on the scale when losing weight? All right, now that's a good question. With weight fluctuations, I think this is how it goes. I think that if you're weighing yourself every day, you're going to see huge fluctuations in your weight. If you have a really hard workout one day, or you really sweat a lot and you're moving a lot, your weight is going to be much better off that week or the next day, than it would be if you just had a regular standard day. Sometimes you drink a little more water, sometimes you drink a little less water, And so your body is always going to move up and down. If you weigh yourself, the reason people say to weigh yourself in the morning is because you've sweated everything out overnight and it's the longest period of time without eating. But if you weighed yourself in the morning and you dry fasted from the point you weighed yourself in the morning to the night, you would notice you probably lose 3 pounds during that day, maybe more, just through the course of the day, just through living. So in the process of that, your weight will obviously fluctuate up and down. So, but if you weigh yourself less often, you won't have that issue. So I only weighed myself once a week, so I did not see weight fluctuations. I did see weeks where I didn't lose anything, but it was never really, oh, well, you gained 5 pounds and then the next week I lost 10. I didn't have any of that. But again, I only did one weigh in a week. So that could be why I didn't see a lot of weight fluctuations. One other thing to keep in mind is if you're female and it's that time of the month, then your weight fluctuates much more than males do. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Your body's going to retain water when you're in that time. So that's just a thought, to throw out you there to you. You can lose and gain 10 pounds of muscle in a week. Yeah, you absolutely can, gain and lose muscle. So you can look more chubby and lose weight, but it's not very often. It's very rare. So answering the first question, I don't think that that's something that you're going to experience too often. All right, did I ever experience white tongue or have I ever heard about it or anyone else in the chat? Okay, well, that's a good question. I mean, it's kind of like cotton mouth. I think some people a lot of times get cotton mouth when they're fasting, especially if they're not drinking enough water. Chances are you're dehydrated, and that's the reason your tongue is white. So, it's just something that you should probably consciously think of a little bit is drinking more water during the day. And I think that'll take care of the coloration in your tongue and help you out there. I hope that was helpful. Okay, so then the next one, the snake diet is too difficult. I did a lot of yo-yoing. Well, the problem is with the snake diet is it's not consistent. Cole changes it every week. So the term snake diet right now, I think he's doing some death dry fast thing where he's like fast and then multiply your weight and yada, yada, yada. But he changes it. So yeah, it's a lot of yo-yo fasting. And the one thing that I will say is I have seen from his community, a lot of the people that started with him do yo-yo fast because they can't get on consistency. But not to say that he hasn't helped a lot of people, because he has. But I find day in and day out OMAD to be the way to go, or day in and day out 16-8 or whatever it is you're doing. But to just do it on a day in and day out basis, it's the way to go. So you increased your protein. Okay, I mean, protein's always good. Can't have too much of it, I don't think. I mean, if you do eat too much protein, it does turn to sugar, and the sugar eventually turns. Can raise your blood sugar, but let's be real. Protein is solid for you. Although I was corrected on my post, there is some people consider a vegan a low protein diet. So vegans, I know my tattooed vegan mentioned that to me. So some vegans do consider themselves low protein, but I would think if you're going to be vegan, the best thing to do is supplement your protein. But that's just my 2 cents. Protein is definitely important. So what do I think of TRF? I don't know what TRF is, so unabbreviate it and let me take a look on that. But so let me get to the next question while I'm waiting for some more. So Tabitha Baby wanted to know eating 16-8 and then on the weekends and doing OMAD the rest of the week affect results. And see, this is a really, really, really good question. Okay, time restricted eating. Okay, I'll get there in 1 second. This is a really, really good question for me because, what she's asking is, if I'm eating a 16-8 only on Saturday and Sunday, and I go the regular standard OMAD the whole entire week, are my results going to be affected? Well, of course they're going to be affected, but much, that's a different story. So I want you to think about it like this. First of all, we all know Kayla Cox does it on Sundays and eats whatever she wants, and she's had massive results, 80 pounds, looks phenomenal, and she did it eating whatever she wanted to eat with no food restrictions. So there are people that take breaks. I also mentioned my dad, which takes 2 days a week off from eating his OMAD. So it really is. It's one thing. Taking 2 days off can be really helpful when you're in maintenance, if you're able to maintain that, to get your calorie count up a little bit. But it's going to affect your results, but not much. So let's say on average you're going to lose 2.5 pounds a week. It may drop you to 2 pounds a week, but you still should be losing weight if you're doing OMAD 5 days and you're eating standard twice, if you're not overeating too much on those 2 days. If you eat a big OMAD meal through the course of the week and you're eating a really big couple thousand calorie meal, and then you go into the weekends and you do that same size meal 3 times, you're going to be in trouble. And this is the key, I think, to all dieting. Cut out the snacking. Don't eat in between meals. So if you are going to step off and say, you know what, Sundays I want to, have a little bit more eating flexibility, cut the snacking out. If you're not eating it with your meal, don't eat it. That's just my 2 cents. Okay, so your question is, what do I think of time restricted eating? Time restricted eating is basically intermittent fasting. There isn't much of a difference. The first term I ever heard was time restricted eating when Rhonda Patrick mentioned it on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I had never heard of time restricted eating. I had never heard of intermittent fasting. And that got me looking into it. And the reason I'm sitting here today is because of the term time restricted eating. But ultimately speaking, they're the same thing. I mean, there's not too much difference. If you think there's something different in there, let me know. And I can, kind of figure out what it is exactly, pinpoint what you mean. But time restricted eating, I think, is just more of a medical way of saying intermittent fasting. Do I have any non-scale victories? Randy, all the time I have non-scale victories. I go to Busch Gardens with my kids and I'm able to ride roller coasters. I can buckle a seatbelt in a car without ever having a problem. Little teeny things pop up all the time that I feel like, wow, I can't, you almost take for granted the things you can do when you're thinner. And once you start gaining weight and you live in that life and you lose it, it's just such a relief to be able to do things. But for anybody that doesn't know, also, my right knee's had 3 knee replacements and I can't bend it. It bends about 40 degrees. So I can barely bend it enough to walk. And I walk every day and it doesn't give me any pain. I just literally can't bend it. And in the process of not being able to bend it, when I was overweight, I stopped wearing socks because I couldn't touch my toes. I stopped being able to, I had a very difficult time putting on my shoes. I've started buying shoes without laces. And now I can reach down right now and touch my toes. So that's amazing. So, that's a non-scale victory that, I didn't think about, but the other day, I was having an issue with my shoe and I thought to myself, oh God, I can't even get to my shoe to fix this. And I reached down there and I could get to my shoe. I was like, wow, my stomach's not in the way. Wow. Think about that. So non-scale victories happen all the time. And they are amazing. If I can think of some, I'll maybe do another non-scale victory video, but non-scale victories, love them. Matter of fact, I think non-scale victories are just as important and just as fun as the victories on the scale. All right. So when doing OMAD do I think is the best time for eating? I actually got a similar question to that, Ariel, or later on today too, but I'll go ahead and address that now. The best time to eat OMAD, there's a technical answer to this, and then there is the answer that I feel. The technical answer is a lot of research is saying that if you eat breakfast, it actually is better. And so your one meal at breakfast is better, but we're talking about less than 1% better. It doesn't do a whole lot for you. So for me, what you're benefiting from it isn't as important as the comfortability of fitting it into your life. So I think the best time is to do it when you feel like is the best time. And so there's a little parameter. Can't even say the word right now. Can't think. But there is some areas where that's a little bit gray. You want to eat a few hours before bed because you want your digestive system to have already worked. So if you can eat 4 hours before you go to sleep, that's the best possible time to eat because you're going to be able to allow your body to get into healing mode in the middle of the night, because when it's digesting, it can't heal. And it wants to heal the most in your REM sleep. So if you can eat 4 hours or so before you go to sleep, most of your digestion is done. And then while you're asleep, your body will be able to heal a little bit better. And if you do it in the morning, you give yourself sugar supplies to burst yourself through the day. And there's some thought that it gives you a little bit better functionality. But I don't, like I said, the studies that I saw were like very minute, very minute. And to me, it's not worth it to get, 1% better. It's kind of like the debate on whether or not you should lift fasted or you should lift fed. And for those of you that have never heard of that or never thought of it, if you lift fasted, you're 2% less strong and your results are 2% worse than if you lift weights when you're actually fed. And so a lot of the fed people use that and say you need to lift when you've eaten. Well, on the opposite of that, you burn more fat when you are not fed. So are you trying to lift weights to gain more muscle? Or are you trying to lift weights to burn more fat? Each way, but 2% isn't worth it to me. I'd rather burn fat and lose the 2% gains there. So I hope that answered your question. You're thinking of starting on this journey and you really appreciate the help. I'm here to help. So are the comments here. These guys can answer questions. They'll help you on my videos. One thing I would love to do more of too, guys, is comment on other people's videos, comments. If you see somebody ask a question and you have an answer, answer it, or answer, tell them how good they're doing, encourage them. I want us to become a really solid community that's helping each other. So, but I got your back. If you have any questions, you just hit me up right now. The YouTube thing is growing daily. So, but I still have enough time to get through all of my comments. I think anybody that has messaged me before will tell you that I'm going to get back to you and as quick as I can. And I'm going to try to help you in any way that I can until I'm overwhelmed, at least. And right now I'm not so overwhelmed. So I got your back. Don't sweat it. You got a question, drop it to me. Okay, Nicole, how did I know it was time to stop losing and begin maintenance? You feel like you could stand to lose another 10 pounds, but you fear that you're too thin. And okay, well, here's the thing. And Nicole, I'm 42, so I understand, man. I don't know where all the years went, but here's the thing. I didn't know I was going to be in maintenance. I really didn't have my original goal was to be under 200 pounds because I never ever thought I could be under 200 pounds. And so I hit under 200 pounds and I kept losing and I stopped in the 90s. And I thought I was going to be there. And then I did a couple other small adjustments and I dropped into the 80s. And I've been chilling in the 80s and what I'm calling maintenance for 7 or 8 months. But, I think that, you just know when you look at yourself in the mirror, you got to kind of be brutally honest. I mean, you're not gonna. The thing is, I think everybody wants to look like Instagram these days, and I don't look like Instagram. I look like an average dude right now, but I'm totally cool with that, and I'm fine with not being an Instagram, model. So, I think each one of us has to kind of know where we want to be. But if you feel like if your BMI is in the normal range and you feel good, then don't worry about the weight loss anymore. Just continue to eat your one meal and chill out and make sure you don't gain weight. And maybe you'll keep losing. Maybe you'll lose another 10 pounds. Maybe you'll even lose another 15 pounds without trying. And another good example, moving back to my pops wanted to get down to about 165. He didn't stop losing weight till he was 155, which was lighter than he was when he got out of the military during the Vietnam War time. So we're talking a long time ago. He was lighter. And now he's in maintenance. He's been maintaining 155, but he never thought he was going to be that light. So I think maintenance can change. I think, I wouldn't worry about it. What I would do now is start thinking like, okay, I'm going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to do the right things. And if I don't lose any more weight, I'm okay with that. And if I crush it and lose another 10 or 15, I'm okay with that too. So always your BMI though, if you're still in the obese range, you're not in maintenance. So get out of the obese range. Everything goes wrong in the obese range. So you lifted fat, you lift fasted, which is great. I totally agree with you. I think lifting fasted is the way to go. Hey, it's good to see you, Caroline. Hope you hang around. If you can't, you can't. But I hope to see you stay in here. We got a bunch of highs to Caroline. You're having a great trip. She's headed home tomorrow. Well, good luck heading home. Hopefully she heads home safe. Caroline's girl, DB's in here. That's good to see. If anybody missed that, Caroline gave her a high five Friday. So, hey, what's going on, that babe? It's good to see you. So now the next question I got over here is, do I have loose skin and did I go to the gym? So it's 2 questions from one person here. And I did do a video. If you go through my old videos, all on loose skin, and I don't really have any. There's a little bit. I got a teeny bit on my stomach, and I always show the little teeny bit I have here on my arm. Has a little teeny bit of loose skin, but for the most part, it's not enough for me to feel like I need surgery or that it's something crazy. I think loose skin wins every time over being unhealthy. So if your choice is loose skin or be unhealthy, choose loose skin 100,000 times. And remember that, we don't have to fit into some kind of box that's on Instagram or some kind of box that's on television. That people have loose skin, and if people that love you, they're going to love you whether your skin's loose or not. So the bottom line is they want you on the planet longer, and you're not going to be on the planet longer if you're morbidly obese. And that's a fact we don't want to talk about in this society. That's a fact that we get away from in this society, and it's a fact we shouldn't get away from. We should be well aware that we're dying and there's a problem. And I'm all for, the people, I just did a video saying don't fat shame people, right? But then there's on the other side of that, the extreme side is the fitness at every, or the health at every size movement. And, saying, well, just because I'm morbidly obese doesn't mean I'm not healthy. Well, statistically, it proves that you are unhealthy. And keep in mind, we're losing 1 million people a year due to related diseases. 1 million people a year, 20,000 to gun violence. So you can see that being overweight is an issue, and having loose skin isn't, in my personal opinion. So just wanted to hit that address. The 39 peeps here watching me, man, make sure you hit that like. I only got 15 likes, and we need that to get out in front of more people, so more people know I am on right now. The more likes, the better. I'd love to see this video hit 100. My last live hit 99. So let's get that thing up, so we can hit 100 by tomorrow night or so. All right, so you tried your first 48-hour dry fast. Surprisingly, it was slightly easier than a water fast. You break your fast 2 to 3 days. Mostly the cravings for hungers are gone. Yeah, dry fasts are interesting. You get a lot of different talks back and forth about whether they're positive or whether they're not, whether they're a good thing or a bad thing. But at the end of the day, an occasional dry fast, there's nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't go 40 hours is a long one, though. I wouldn't go much longer than that. That's a really long dry fast. So just keep that in mind, that you do need water. Water is a very important, if not the most important thing you'll ever do. You can go long time without eating, but not drinking will kill you. So just keep that in mind. But it does burn fat quicker, and it also gets to autophagy quicker too. So throwing a dry fast in there every once in a while, I don't think is terrible. And there are some people that feel like dry fasting does tighten your skin up, for you loose skin people that are worried about it. But, again, I don't know how much of that's true. I hear that all the time. People are like, well, if you fast, your skin will get back to normal. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think genetics has a lot more to do with it than, that. So brave to say you have loose skin, my friend. That's good stuff too. You appreciate the daily videos. You stuck to fasting 16 and 8 for the past month, and you started OMAD today. Do you think this is too soon? No, I don't. Let me just hop on there and real quickly and talk about that. I went to OMAD in 2 weeks. I've always told everybody start slow, and I'm an advocate for starting slow. But I think when you're ready, jump into it. I went on vacation and I did the 16 and 8 thing, and I came home and I'm like, this is easy. And I was probably a month, because then I went into a warrior for a bit and did a 20 and 4. And then I jumped right into OMAD. I've been OMAD ever since. It was easy peasy for me. And I know it has not been for everybody I know. The longest I've ever heard is 8 weeks. But if you can get in there quick, get in there quick. There's nothing wrong with it. And once you've landed in OMAD, you've stayed in OMAD day in, day out, everything's going to get better for you. So does anyone here have a fasting app you'd like to join? I've never messed with a fasting app. I know some people do it. If you guys do have an app you'd like to use or you like using, drop it to them. For me, I just know I'm going to break my fast between like 4 and 6 every day, and that's just what I do. But so I never really messed with an app. I do have my Fitness Pal, mainly for just my weight, and I have my iWatch, which keeps track of all my fitness stuff. And by the way, for those of you that were wondering, that's 16,440 steps, 7 miles today, and burnt 1,007 calories in active time and 93 active minutes. And all of that was spent walking, which leads me back to the second half of the question. Did I go to the gym? I did go to the gym. I was lifting 3 times a week for a few months in there. I don't think I'm ever going to really hit more than 3 times a week. But I do like going to the gym with YouTube, with the family, with the work. and the wrestling season coming up, I'm probably going to miss the weight room for a long time. But springtime, probably going to get back into the weight room. I do not think it's necessary at all to ever go to the weight room and lose weight and be healthy. But I do think it can help, and I do think it's a good thing. But if you're not a weight room person, just get out and get walking. So you're at 235. That's good stuff, man. Your husband's doing 16.8. He's been doing OMAD the last few days, and he said, surprise how easy it is. Look at that, Caroline. You've already driven him all the way to OMAD. That's amazing. I knew it would happen when you got started. I was like, that guy's going to go OMAD at some point, but I didn't say anything. But I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy that you guys are crushing it. Okay. Why do you prefer to have OMAD between 4 and 6 p.m.? All right. I have my OMAD between 4 and 6 because it's best for my family. We have jujitsu Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we have it at like 5. We have to leave the house at 5, so I have to eat early. And then when now wrestling season comes in, I don't get home until 5, so it'll be more like 5 to 7. And there are going to be a few days that I fast just because I got to get to jujitsu and whatever else, and I'm just like, forget eating, or I eat quickly on the go and just eat something small. I don't think there's a particular reason why 4 to 6 works. It just does. But I do switch that window if there's something going on, like if we're going to go, to a movie or something, I will eat some other time during that day. It's not a big deal to adjust my window whatsoever. So, hey, how's it going, Rose? Thanks for joining us. Let's see here. You think OMAD is easier than if? I kind of think OMAD's easier than if too, because if gives you a lot of wiggle room, and sometimes that wiggle room makes you want to snack during it, and that snacking will absolutely and utterly destroy you. I can't stress it enough. I always tell people, even when you're doing a 16 and 8, you got to have 2 meals. Don't do the snacks, man. Eating constantly through the thing, it adds up. 200 here, 200 there, 200 here. Next thing you know, you're overdoing it. And you don't want to overdo the eating no matter what. So keep that in mind. You probably could have done better, but you had dessert with every meal except for your OMAD today. You were too full. Well, listen, at first I was 100% the same way. I made sure I was eating a thing of ice cream or a cheesecake, or I wanted so badly to hang on to all that stuff. But I think that you can get to a place with OMAD where you just don't need it anymore and you don't feel like it. And that doesn't mean you can't occasionally have a bowl of ice cream or whatever else. But I do think that it goes away over time. So if you just stick with OMAD and you keep grinding, I think you're going to do fine, with what you're doing there. So I went a little too far. That is cool. Yeah, it is cool that her husband's doing OMAD. I'm excited for them. You do OMAD during the week and it's really easy, but you struggle on the weekends. Any tips to help you stay on track on the weekends? All right, number one tip would be stay super busy. That would be my number one tip. Plan out a day. Plan out a day so that you're moving a lot and that you're not sitting around. Boredom, it leads to eating, and that's why you struggle. I mean, we have to face the facts. The facts are, when we're bored, we've always eaten our whole lives, and it's just something to do. And so on the weekends, it's something to do. With that said, if you can grit through one busy day and then get off of it for a day, I think you're okay too. So you don't necessarily feel like you have to do it every single day, but I think that staying busy is a big part of getting past it. And then after time, like now on the weekends, I thought the summer was going to be a struggle for me this summer because I was off the whole summer, and obviously I'm doing OMAD, and it wasn't a struggle at all. I kept myself busy. I walked, I did my things, started, doing videos and whatever else is, and it just, time flies, and I think you figure it out. But it's okay if you feel like on Sundays you need to, eat twice or something like that just to get through it. So that's my 2 cents there. It's the best. Yeah. Let's see. What did Randy have to say? It is important to have a weight loss buddy. Hey, listen, guys, no better weight loss buddy than my man, Randy. He'll take care of you. He'll help you out however he can. He's a good dude. And I'm glad I have him as a weight loss buddy. I got his back. I think he's passed me in weight loss, guys. Randy, why don't you throw down how much you've lost? I think he's in the 132, 134, something like that. Randy's crushing the weight loss. So, staying busy is huge, no doubt. Your husband says OMAD meals. Oh, you're mad because you can't eat. Well, actually, there's some truth to the hangry thing. I mean, when you're first doing it, I think you do get a little agitated, but I think it goes away. I think that in time it'll be okay. I know even my wrestlers, when they have to make weight on the day they weigh in, they are the worst attitudes ever. And so there is some truth to being hangry, but I think again in time, all of that goes away. It's not a big deal. You just finished your first 5-day water fast and you feel great, and you're going to start a 5-2 plan. Wow. Hey, Jason, man, that's amazing. That is absolutely awesome. 5 days is no joke. I'm proud of you. You did a good job, buddy. And more importantly, you're in the 300s and working your way down. And that's what it's all about. It's just about grinding it out and getting the weight off and getting yourself feeling better. And the more you lose, Jason, the better you're going to feel. And then as you start feeling better and better and better, it's going to be easier to move, and that's going to equal more weight loss. And it's just such a cycle in a good way. I think when we get overweight, we get in a vicious cycle the wrong way. And being able to get that cycle going in a positive direction is huge. It's absolutely huge. So you got a good win there, man. Plus you snack and keep raising your insulin. Yeah, snacking is going to keep that insulin up, no doubt about it. And when you eat, your insulin starts to move back down. And when you get to a point when you're pretty good in your fat adaptedness and you're being able to move back and forth between sugar and fat, you're able to get that insulin down fast. And if you're continuing to snack, it's not going to go down fast, and you're never going to get your body to quite learn how to do that. And there is truth to calories, but there's also truth to burning fat for fuel. And so it goes kind of both ways. And one thing that I always try to get people to understand is if you eat too much fat, you're going to store the fat. There's no way around that. You can't have too much of anything and expect not to store it. So it will store, but if you're able to switch back and forth or able to stay burning on your fat, you're going to be golden. So let's see here. Lately anxiety has been eating your meal, having a desk job is not helping. Make sure you practice. Any tips for coping without snacking? I actually have a desk job, if you can believe it or not. I sit at the desk 90% of the day. I walk before work and I walk during lunch. And I think both of those things actually help in hunger. I think getting up and moving helps. So maybe you could try that. Maybe you could pop up and go on a walk before you get to work and walk at lunch. And then staying busy with other tasks. If you have some non-work related things that need to get done, maybe you could do that. I can write scripts for the YouTube. I can, if nobody's in the classroom, I can record one sometimes when I'm at work or whatever else is the case. So, staying busy again is the main thing to go without snacks. The other thing is just getting used to it. And Jason, I'm glad you love my videos, man, and I'm glad they inspire you. I will be here for you, my brother, and just keep grinding. And I'll keep grinding out the videos. I post at least 5 a week. So, I'm not going to be posting tomorrow so that this one can be seen by people that didn't catch it tonight. But I will post on Friday, and I'm going to post probably on Saturday, maybe on Sunday. I'm not sure which one of those 2 days I'm going to take off, and then be back to the swing of things Monday as well. So lots of videos coming. So, I'm definitely going to try to throw 5 at you guys. Well, four videos a week and 1 live. Five times you get to see my pretty face. So I'm going to keep grinding. You keep watching. Okay, drinking water when you feel like you're eating. Oh, that's another thing too. If you chug a whole bottle of water before you eat or when you're getting hungry, I think it helps a lot. I mean, just sit down and drink a glass of water and you'll feel much better. Chewing on ice can also help too. So he is supportive, but he's no interest in doing it. DB, look, a lot of them aren't. My wife wasn't when it first started, and she does it now. So, over time, things change. So I think that could change. But, it is what it is. John's definitely killing it. 132 pounds, man. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Sometimes water on an empty stomach doesn't help. You feel weird and bloated. Yeah, I mean, it not for everybody, to overdrink there. You got to know your body, and if you feel bloated and you feel like you're not doing well when you drink too much, it's sloshing around too much, tone it back and all. So, well, thanks for joining us, Caroline. We appreciate it. You think good refeeds on fruits and vegetables and meats? Yeah, fruits, vegetables, and meats all day. That's what it's all about. So, 0 carbs is a great snack. Okay. Off topic, do I rap? If you're talking to me, no, I think I don't got those rapping skills. Now, when I was in 5th grade, though, I wasn't a rap. I wasn't a drug-free for the school, a drug-free rap band. That's for real. But that was 5th grade. That was 1987. So yeah, no, definitely don't do any rapping now. So the best time to get off, and this he's here now. I know he's here somewhere in the chats, but he asked when is the best time to eat your meal, and I mentioned it a little earlier, but he specifically said he doesn't get off until 8 o'clock and wanted to know if that was a good time or not. And it just depends. If you're going to go to bed at 10, you probably shouldn't eat at 8. It might be better to, for whatever lunch break you have, to eat your one meal during that lunch break or before you go into work. And I don't know, if you have a really hard job, it may be better to eat before you go into work too, getting off at 8 o'clock at night, because you do want to try to let your body heal during that time. But even if you can't let your body heal every night and you got to eat at 8, that's fine. Just maybe on the weekends, move it up a little bit so that your body can digest a little bit. But if you're going to bed at 12 and you're eating at 8, I don't think there's any issue with it at all. And there are a lot of intermittent fasters and a lot of OMAD people out there that eat their one meal at like 11 o'clock at night and they still lose weight. I just think that does maybe mess with your healing a little bit. So wouldn't be something I recommend, but it is something that you could do. So before I catch the next question, if you just popped in, make sure you hit that thumbs up, man, so we can get out in front of more people and help save some people's lives. So the next question that I got was, do you have to eat keto, and or can you eat whatever you want? And that question is an interesting one because I get it fully. When we talk about intermittent fasting, if you Google intermittent fasting right now and you go through and you look at the other YouTubers out there, if you go look at the articles written, if you hop on Instagram, you're going to see a great deal of people pushing the keto diet. And you're going to see a lot of people saying keto, 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 keto is the only way to go, keto, 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 keto. And, is it the only way to go? Well, absolutely not. I lost 125 pounds and never did keto. So there you go. Now, with that, there's a disclaimers on there that I would like to say. I can name several other people that never ate keto that lost lots of weight doing intermittent fasting. The list of people that have done it is huge. With that said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with keto. So if you want to do keto, do keto. If you don't. And don't feel bullied into doing it because everybody else is. I can't tell you how many times when I reach out to help people on other forums like Facebook or Instagram or even Reddit, and I'll say, hey, they'll ask a question, I'll give an answer, and then somebody will say, well, how was your story? What's your story? I'll say, well, I lost 125 pounds. And they'll start talking about, oh, it's so amazing what keto and intermittent fasting can do. And I'll write them back and I'll say, I didn't do keto. And they'll get mad at me. They'll literally get mad at me. And they'll say, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I literally didn't do keto. And they can't accept that as an answer. They start to say, well, you had to have done keto. And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, then you're going to gain. And this is the one I've heard at least a couple of dozen times. You're going to gain your weight back. Like, I'm not going to gain my weight back. No, you are. You're going to gain your weight back because you didn't do keto. And your body's going to crave sugar and you're going to start eating bad again and you're going to gain all your weight right back. And nothing could be further from the truth. I've lost the weight. It's not coming back. I'm fine. And it's like, because you're having success on keto doesn't mean that everybody has to have success on keto. And it doesn't mean people can't succeed without it and can't succeed doing it in a totally different way and have absolutely as much success as you. So that's hard for those people to wrap their head around because there's such a commitment to keto. And in a way, it's a little bit of a culty type commitment. It's that whole, like, you're all in. It is the way to go. It's the way to save your life. You have to do keto. You don't. So now, again, with that said, for my keto people that are watching me that are getting upset with me, got nothing against it. Do keto till the sun comes home. Lose weight. Get healthy. If that makes you feel better, go do keto. You don't have to do keto. On the other side, I didn't. I'm fine. You don't. And as far as eating whatever you want, you can eat whatever you want within reason. You can't obviously overdo it. You can't obviously just eat crap all of the time. You can stay away from empty calories. Don't eat a whole bag of Oreo cookies and think that you're going to lose weight. It's not going to happen. Man, I'm so close to getting 50 people on here. I've been waiting for 50 people all night, man. Come on, 50 people. Where you at? Share it with somebody. Let me go back up and see. It's been scrolling for a minute and I have missed bunches of questions here. So let me make sure I got everything going on. Okay. Eat whatever I want or don't do keto. Yeah, you don't need to, man. I just kind of went over that. What do I think about alternate day fasting? I think alternate day fasting is fine as long as you're fasting on your off day. I don't like the 500 calorie thing. I think alternate day OMAD might be the most powerful thing ever, but I never did it. I'm not an alternate day faster. I did fast once a week. So I was 6 OMAD and 1 full fast a week. I think 5 OMAD and 2 fasts a week is amazing for fat loss. So if you're morbidly obese, doing something like that, alternate day or whatchamacallit, I'm all about it. The one thing I would say is it's hard to do alternate day fasting the rest of your life. I think that alternate day fasting while you're losing weight with the idea of OMAD when you're done can be something good. I got no beef with alternate day fasting. 137 pounds and starting tomorrow. What is the best advice for motivation to stay on OMAD? The best advice is to do it and to grit through the toughness. It's going to suck, especially if you haven't been working your fasting muscle up until this point. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a sucky situation for a while, and it's going to get better. And so as long as you're moving towards getting better, don't sweat the suckiness. Just grit through it, because it's not long before everything gets better. You feel better, you look better, you're able to eat better, you're able to move more. It builds momentum. Let me relate it to YouTube, for example. They say that 90 something percent, 98% of all people that start a YouTube channel quit before they get to, I can't remember if it was 1,000. I think it's before they get to 1,000. But a huge percentage quit before they get to 100. And they said if you get to 100, the chances are you're going to get to 1,000. But then a lot of people quit there, but it's a snowball effect. You don't get all of those people in one day. It builds over time, and so does weight loss with OMAD. It's like rolling the snowball downhill. Over the course of time, you start to get more time. You start to get better sleep. You start to feel better. You start to move more. You better start to make better food decisions because you're feeling better. And it all starts to work together. And then the next thing you know, you wake up and you're a totally different person. So just know that the other side of the mountain you're climbing, which is a tough mountain to climb, but when you get to the other side of it, it's an amazing, amazing world. It's things that it's better than you believe it's going to be. So just stick with it because it's better than you believe it's going to be. Maybe my man, Randy, if he's still in the chat, he'll tell you after losing 132 pounds, how much better he feels. And maybe he'll give you a non-scale victory, because it's just what, you're doing the right thing. Just get on it and get grinded. So, all right. Let's see what the next question is here. You did refeed with vegetables. I've already done that one. Sorry, it's moving a little bit slow there. Okay, forget keto. Now you're on carnivore. Carnivore's fine too. I think a lot of people with autoimmune issues do well on carnivore. Carnivore gets you into ketosis pretty good, and anything that's getting you into ketosis is going to help you burn fat. The only thing is carnivore something you want to do forever? That's something you got to kind of decide. But even if you're not going to do it forever, you got to have an exit plan from it once your weight is lost. I think that's huge. You can do one thing to lose weight, but if you just go back and do whatever you're always done, you're going to get it back. So you've got to have a plan for the day after you've lost the weight. I think that's pretty important. You haven't done keto, you don't plan on doing it. Snake diet soon. OMAD keto. All of it's going to help. All of it's going to work. So, you love pasta. So does my wife. Pasta is something my house eats a lot of. Again, carbs aren't the issue. Carbs are the issue and aren't the issue all at the same time. Anything in moderation is always going to be fine. And pasta carbs is a little different than, like Dorito carbs. Junk food carbs, that's the kind of carbs you just don't need. Those carbs just raise your blood sugar. to high levels, and they hurt you more than they help you. A lot of great athletes use carbs before they train, a lot before they compete. They'll eat pasta the night before. There's a reason why they do that. They get that 2% explosiveness out of it. You feel like you're ready and awesome. This community is great. We appreciate you too, Big P. Just keep grinding, my friend. It's a great road you're on. Just keep grinding. Okay. You also feel full much faster eating small portions of food. That's going to happen to you too. 1 second there. But that's going to happen to you too. You're going to be able to eat less and get full quicker. It happens for everybody that does OMAD, and you just got to keep at it, and just keep on rolling. And I think you will get there. And Randy talking about having more energy, me too. More energy, less sleep. I can't stress enough how awesome it is. Being able to get that going. And what's happening, Julie? Appreciate you joining us today. Do you know of any other plant-based OMADers other than Nicole that are on YouTube? No, JC, I don't. I do know that there's Daily Digestion channel, is a small YouTuber that does a lot of juicing and a lot of, she does OMAD too. And she has a lot of alternate medical, plans and things she goes over. So she's one that I don't think she strictly is all plant-based, but I do think she does go over a lot of that. But the one you named, she's amazing. So, I think she's a good person to help. Oh, and the guy that interviewed me, Danny from Countless Countless Kinesthetics, I think is what the name of his YouTube is. Danny's his name. He's all vegetarian OMAD. Probably the biggest channel there is on OMAD plant-based stuff. Check him out. He lives in another country, and he's a minimalist, great dude. He interviewed me. He's got a great interview with me. Spent probably 2 hours and put it all on YouTube. So he asks a lot of amazing questions, and definitely doesn't judge you. And he's kind of interesting too, because although he's vegan, he hasn't eaten meat in a bazillion years. He'll talk about the benefits of other diets and other things, and he doesn't come at them from a negative perspective, if you will. He talks about them in a positive way. So he's a good dude, no doubt about that. So, hey, it's good to see you, Miss Smith. Glad you popped in. Randy is funny, and he's getting skinny, no doubt about it. So the next question that I had somebody ask me is was Sherry, and she said, do I have to be okay? Do you have to eat lower than your TDEE? So if you don't know what TDEE is, it's total daily energy expenditure. And so if you look that up and you put in your height and weight, it'll tell you how many calories your body takes, a day to just run, just to be in existence. How much energy does it use? And then it'll ask you questions that you got to be brutally honest about how much activity you do. And it adds that in there, and it tells you can eat this many calories. And then you subtract 500 from that, and now you've lost a pound a week. And that's the plan of the TDEE. There's a few things that I want to say. And one is, we have to keep in mind that calories aren't perfect, and calories, although if you are overeating, you will gain weight. I don't know that calories are 100% right. A lot of times the labels are required to put calories, but they don't have to be accurate. And a lot of them are a few hundred calories off every time they write something. So if you think about it, if you're eating 3 times a day and you're 300 calories off every single time, you just ate 900 calories more than you thought you did. And you're going to end up burning you're going to end up adding 300 calories, and you're going to think you're in a deficit when you're really in a surplus, and you're really gaining weight, not losing weight. So calories aren't 100% that have all say all. With that said, I want to stress this, that you absolutely have to be lower than your TDEE. One of the problems is a lot of people love Dr. Jason Fung, myself included. And he has several videos in a book which he says counting calories is dumb, and that calories don't matter. And what people hear that, and they just take that for that is truth, when it's not what he's saying. What he's literally saying is, we've proven that counting calories doesn't work. because there's all these other things that are wrong with the science, including the number of calories that it actually is, including the way that we're adding it up, including the level of activity we think we're doing when we're not doing it. So there's all of these human elements that revolve around what a calorie really is. And when we take it, it doesn't really affect you. I mean, it affects you much more than you think it does. When on the other hand, if you get into intermittent fasting, and more specifically something like OMAD, and you spend your day in ketosis and you're burning body fat for fuel, the chances of you losing weight are going to be exponentially higher than sitting down and meticulously counting calories. So if you overeat, you will gain weight. Your body can't magically burn but a certain amount of fat a day. And even if you're eating all fat, you will store the fat you're eating. There's no other way around it. But here's the good news, and here's what I would have to say, Sherry, is that because we eat 6 times a day on average, that's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, 6 times a day the average American eats. If you switch that to 1, it is almost impossible to eat as much as you would have over the 6 different times you ate in the day. That is huge. And then you've given your body at least a 12 to 16 hour window where it has to use your body fat. It has to burn your body fat in order to run. So if you're taking in less food than you're storing and your body has to burn body fat for energy, guess what just happened? You lost weight. That is why OMAD is the granddaddy of them all. That is why OMAD is the best. And if you want to know one other thing, a lot of people say, well, if you go longer term without eating, right? But here's the thing. If you eat and you cut back, let's say you eat 6 times a day, but you eat very small meals. You eat 100 calories, 100 calories, 100 calories, 100 calories 6 times a day. So you're only eating 600 calories a day. Over the course of time, your body will say, hey, we're only getting 600 calories. We have to slow our heart rate down. We have to slow the way we process food down. We have to rest our body more often. We have to take the energy we're expending on things, healing and doing everything else, and we have to slow all of that down to adjust to the fact that we're not intaking a lot of calories. And so then you lose a bunch of weight, and then eventually you plateau and you can't lose weight, and then you give up and you go back to eating 3,000 calories, and now your body can only burn 600, and you've had a huge problem. And that's been proven over the time. It's why Dr. Fung says counting calories is wrong. On the other side of that, though, understanding that why that doesn't happen when you have OMAD is because you're burning fat all day, but the meal you're eating has enough calories. If you're eating a nice big meal, you're eating enough calories in that one meal to make it to your body isn't worried about you not eating. It isn't worried about you going into starvation mode. And when you start doing prolonged fasting and then eating, so you do a 3-day fast and then eat once and do a 3-day fast and then eat once, you'll burn body fat, but you could wreck your metabolism over the course of time doing something like that. Or if you stick to day in and day in out OMAD, you're not going to burn your metabolism up. You're still going to burn fat. You're going to be able to kick all forms of butt. It is the way to go. And for me, it is the reason why it's the granddaddy of them all. It is the way to go intermittent fasting wise. Now I got to scroll up because my chat went way down while I was rambling there to catch everybody else's questions. But while I'm scrolling up here, guys, that 34, let's hit that like button and move it up a few notches so that we can hopefully get it out. I want to hit 100 by tomorrow night. You know, when I see the thing, I'd like to be able to get this video out in front of as many people as possible. So moving up, I am, okay, plant-based, I got that question. Your half an hour walk is turning into an hour. You know, hey, look, I started out barely walking too. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect a half an hour of walking, but it grew. And now I end up walking a minimum of an hour and a half a day, and some days even more. Today I probably gotten 2.5 hours of walking. So, you know, getting steps in is huge, man. And I'm going to tell you, not only for your weight loss, but just your mental clarity and feeling better about yourself and so many things. I want to say this, we hit 50. Check that out. Thank you, guys. Oh, come on, man. 2 people bounced on me. But we hit 50 for a second. Y'all can't take that away from me. But anyways, real quick, I work in school suspension, and I'm dealing with these people that have, issues in all the time. And the number one thing, the issue that I see that these young people have is they don't believe in themselves. And they feel like everyone is disrespecting them because at the end of the day, they don't respect themselves. There it is, 50 again, 51. Love you people. You're the man. Now give me 40 likes. That would be awesome. But they don't love themselves. They don't have respect for themselves. And if you don't respect yourself, you crave other people respecting you. Where if you go out and respect yourself, you're going to build off of that and you're going to become a better, person for it. And I think that is the same thing that happens when you start walking and you're losing weight and you're feeling better. You're able to get into your head and realize how successful you are because life is busy. And if you don't take time to breathe every once in a while and get in your own head, then you don't realize how good you're doing and how much of a warrior you really are. You're a weight loss warrior. You're not a weight loss person. You're a weight loss warrior. And you don't realize that. But if you get walking and you let yourself get into that thinking, it becomes like a meditation like you would get at a yoga or wherever else. And the next thing you know, you are cruising in the right direction. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm an advocate for walking, not just for weight loss, but for mental clarity and everything else. I think everybody should walk. But, I know some of y'all say you hate walking and I'm it's cool. You shouldn't wear loose shirts anymore. If you're talking to me, it's hard, man. I lost a bunch of weight and I got new shirts and I lost more weight and I had to get new shirts and I lost more weight and I had to get new shirts. I've gone shopping for 4 different wardrobes during this journey right now. And I probably need to shop again. And it's just going to have baggy shirts, man. Not all of them are baggy. Some of them I look tight in. Let me stop. But anyways, so, it's just the way it is sometimes, you're just going to have to shop for new shirts, man. New pants, new everything. I got 34-inch pants, put them on, and a week later I had to go buy 32s. They were falling off me, So it happens. You don't count calories. You lost 85 pounds. Yeah, exactly. I lost 125 and never counted a single one and ate whatever I wanted to. So, you can do it. What's happening? 08 Dark. Good to see you, my friend. Emily, you're doing real well. Okay, Zed's brother. Okay. 100%. Life is and look, everything's a journey. Whoa. Oh man, JC, thank you, my brother. Thank you for the super chat. You are the man. I appreciate you like crazy, man. Thank you for the help. Keep encouraging us, weight loss warriors, man. I'm going to keep encouraging you, JC, and I got your back. If you need anything, let me know. I got your back, man. I am here to do nothing but help you guys. That's my goal. My goal in starting this channel, for those of you that don't know, was nothing but help. And it's growing to a point where I feel like I'm definitely helping, and it's just growing so much. I'm so proud of all of you for hopping on this train. And I think we're building a community of people that care about each other. And if we keep doing these live chats once a week, it's a great place for us to meet, talk about our problems, talk about our issues. Maybe I'll get a Discord going. You guys can let me know in the comments if you'd like a Weight Loss Warrior Discord where we can talk, where we can post questions to each other and help each other out, because, man, it is all about supporting each other. It's all about being a family of people that are going through something together. And there's something to be said for that, for sure. So I appreciate every one of you, no doubt about it. Thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Hey, look, I'm always going to do my best to take out the time for each of you. Hey, what's going on, Dr. Jeff? It's good to see you. Dr. Jeff's a good dude, man. Definitely on the same, same topic, just trying to help people. So OMAD works for diabetics, eating anything you want. Now, Julie Wood, that's a good question. So basically what I think she's trying to ask is, if you're diabetic, is it okay to eat whatever you want while doing OMAD? And that is a little trickier, because being that if you're type 2 diabetic, that insulin spike isn't going to come down easily. It's a little bit worse than being insulin resistant. And over the course of time, you can reverse that insulin resistant, and you can reverse the type 2 diabetes as well. But if I personally were to find out I had diabetes in the beginning of this, I would have gone either carnivore or keto. And that's just because of the blood sugar issues. Now, once I lost the weight, maybe shift back to doing like 3 days of keto, 4 days of carbs, or vice versa a week, So, and I would do them in a row so that I stayed in ketosis the longest and kept my blood sugar in check the longest. So maybe 4 days in a row of doing, ketosis Monday through Thursday, and then Friday through Saturday, do whatever I wanted, or Sunday, I mean, not whatever I wanted, but you know what I mean, eat OMAD with some carbs. But if I was diabetic, I would slow myself down and get rolling. Yeah, I think a Discord would be cool too, Zero. We'll have to talk about it and figure out how to get a Discord up and running just for you guys, because I think it'd be a good place to be where we could talk about it. We could post our weight loss successes. We could talk about, our struggles and our problems and give advice to each other, and something that maybe, quote unquote, I'm not, the only one that's giving advice here, but a community of people that have been through it and that are going through it all at the same time. And as you go from starting your journey to losing weight and you're feeling better and you've lost your weight down, you can stay in the Discord and help the people that are just starting their journey, because the more we roll this thing, I'm getting people every day that are starting tomorrow, and I'm getting people every day that are hitting maintenance. And so, but the people that are hitting maintenance, it's very important that they stay around and help guide the rest of us, because, that's what we need here is support. We need to know that we can fix this and we can help each other out and do it in a positive way. So, all right. Thanks for joining us, Emily. I appreciate it. Healthy Highway. That's Randy's my man. Julia, I would do low carb as well. Oh man, another $2. Oh, you're a lady, JC? Oh, well, hey, I apologize. My bad, sister. I appreciate you like crazy though, for real. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat. You're amazing. No doubt about it. Like I said, I'm definitely here 100% to support you. So I appreciate you, sister. You are wonderful. So does OMAD work for diabetics? Check Justin Fong's. Absolutely, OMAD works for diabetics, and I think that we actually have one of my subscribers. His name is Dennis. I haven't seen him in the comments lately, but he lost over 100 pounds. And Dennis was diabetic when he started watching me, and he's reversed it completely. So that's a really good example. If you ever see Dennis in the chat, you can say something to him. I definitely think that it's OMAD will help with diabetes, no doubt. But I do think that that it's I would go low carb personally if I was diabetic. And insulin resistant, you can consider it, but you also can just do a couple days a week of it. That helps. You can do something crazy, and that's what's beautiful about intermittent fasting is you can combine and do things you want. So think about this. So you eat a standard meal on Sunday, and then Monday morning you fast. You fast Monday, you don't eat again until Tuesday dinner. So you ended up with a 48-hour fast. You ate at 6 o'clock on Sunday, you ate at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. So that's a 48-hour fast every week, right? But when you eat on Tuesday, you have a keto meal, a keto-friendly meal, right? So you eat that on Tuesday, and you eat a keto-friendly meal at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, you just eat a standard, whatever you want to eat in your one meal, and Friday, Saturday, and then again Sunday. So you went into ketosis and stayed there starting Sunday night and did not get out of ketosis until Thursday when you sat down to eat your dinner. So you stayed in ketosis for a long time, kept your blood sugar really even, gave your cells a chance to relax, and you put yourself into a situation where you were a long period of time in fat burning mode. There's absolutely 100% nothing wrong with that. And so you can make something up like that. You don't have to think that just because such and such did it or said it means that it fits me. And that's why OMAD and intermittent fasting is so beautiful. Your OMAD can be different than my OMAD. It can be a different time of day. It can be a different amount of days a year, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to have some great holiday videos coming out in the near future. You can adjust them. You can do all. OMAD is so flexible, and it's also so forgiving. And if for some reason you blew it on one day, you can get back to OMAD. You could throw a 48-hour fast in there, hit OMAD, and nobody would ever know the difference. That's why OMAD is just amazing. And I do agree, Jason Fong is a great resource. He's a good guy that I think, honestly, I know sometimes I'll say, well, he's selling his book and whatever else. And of course, all of that is true. But I think he's there to help people. I think I think it sickens him the way that we are in our country, and he wants to do his very best to get us healthy again. And there's not a lot of people that do want to do that. So you do Mondays, yeah, OMAD, Monday through Friday, and 16 and 8 on the weekends, I think is a good way to go. And then if you hit a plateau, you can adjust from there, but I think that's fine. You read his books, you love his videos. Yeah, he's amazing. No doubt about it. Is it cool to do 24 and 1 on the weekends and 40? Yeah, absolutely. Warrior Diet is amazing. 20, that's 20 and 4 for those of you that didn't know. It's called the Warrior Diet. And I think doing the Warrior of the weekend, it's better than doing OMAD Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends doing 16 and 8. The Warrior is going to do you even better than the 16 and 8. But if you need a break, the Warrior Diet is the way to go. I think if you do OMAD 4 days and Warrior 3, you're going to have great weight loss success. But you just got to find something that you can do that works in your schedule. And, it'll end up working out. So, Jason, you said you're diabetic, and that's why you're doing a 5-2 for healing and aggressive weight loss. Yeah, listen, Jason, I think it's going to help you. Another thing, Jason, too, on your 5-2, were you doing like 2 different days of not eating with a rest day in between them, or are you doing 2 straight days of not eating? Because those 2 straight days of not eating could be something you want to look into, being that you're diabetic, to keep that blood sugar levels really, really, really level. You don't want to allow that to go too much. And for those of you that don't know the difference, type 1 diabetes you're born with or you're develop over time. It's a genetic disorder. It's not a kind of, I guess, what you would call a man-made disorder. I don't know what else to say there, but type 2 diabetes is because you were insulin resistant. And basically the difference between the two of them is your pancreas does not make insulin if you're type 1 diabetic. So you have to take insulin so that your body and your blood sugar levels can stay regulated. And if you are type 2 diabetic, your body is making too much insulin and the cells are rejecting it, not letting it do its job, because they're like, there's too much of you, get away. And medically, actually, how we treat that as doctors is we give them more insulin to overwhelm the cell so it quits and allows more to go into it. So it's a counterproductive thing. That's what Jason Fung's always talking about. And it's a problem with why type 2 diabetes is so devastating. And, it can be fixable through intermittent fasting. Type 1 diabetes, I don't even know if intermittent fasting is the way to go on that. I'm definitely not a good enough expert to be able to say. But I do know that there's some serious things. You hardly ever see an overweight type 1 diabetic. That's just something for you guys to think about. So most people that have diabetes are type 2, almost all of them. So anyways, what do I think about adding minerals to your water? Do it. If you feel like you need some different electrolytes or you need some different minerals or different vitamins, go for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with adding them to your water. Do what makes you feel comfortable and what you feel like gives you the right energy and makes you feel good. So you said you'll catch you guys later. Your phone's dying. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Miss Smith. Thanks for joining us today. And I just finally, I didn't know 08 Dark had a channel. I just went over there yesterday, I think, and watched his videos for the first time. He's grinding it out. One of my weight loss warriors is trying to carry the word and share his journey. And John's another one that just started his channel. I think he posted his first video. So, those 2 guys are both good peeps, man. You guys should definitely check out their videos. So John, 5-day water fast, 2 days of eating. 5-day water fast is amazing, my friend. Everyone in your family is pre-diabetic, and you've been lucky to avoid it. Well, that's one of the reasons to start your journey, is so that you end up not pre-diabetic. I think that's, I can remember. Let me tell you guys an interesting story. While I got a minute here, I got no more questions over here. If you got some more, go ahead and drop them. But here's an interesting story. I can remember being overweight. And I can remember a few different times going to the doctor. And I can remember one time the doctor came back and he said, "Hey, I want to run a couple more tests. Your blood sugar was higher than I'd like to see it." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, I think you're pre-diabetic." And he said, "I just want to run a couple tests and see what's going on." So, I did these tests and I went back to see him. And I can remember, I'm probably in my 30s at the time, but it happened to me when I was younger too. So it's two different times that very similar conversations like this happen with doctors. And I sat down with this doctor when the tests were finished, and he said, "You're not pre-diabetic yet, but you are so close to the line. It's not funny. You're right there. You're so close to being pre-diabetic." And you guys want to know what my thought was? You would think that my thought, and you can drop a comment on what you think my thought was, but you would think that I would be like, oh no, let me go to the gym today. Let me get a gym membership. Let me start eating right tonight. Let me get moving. Let me get going. This is a life altering moment. That's not what I thought. What I left there and said, sweet, I'm not diabetic. Sweet. Not there yet. I'm going to be there, but I'm not there yet. So I'm doing okay right now. And now when I think about that, it almost makes me sick to my stomach that I was so broken. I can remember talking to my dad, which was a pharmacist, and saying, yeah, he said my blood work, my blood sugar was a little bit high. I remember my dad saying, listen, the last thing you want is type 2 diabetes. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have it though. He's like, but my dad's telling me all the complications and all the issues. And all I was thinking was, I may be close, but nana boo boo, I don't have it. I'll worry about it another day. And that is the problem that I think we all have when we're going through the helplessness that is being obese. And the feeling that you get is it's like almost a bonus that you're not there yet. I used to pass people that were bigger than me at 312 pounds. I'd be walking in public and I'd see somebody that was 400 plus, and my brain would say, well, I'm not that big yet. So it's okay. I'm not that big yet. I can remember in particular, there was one overweight gentleman that was at all of our wrestling matches. He used to go around, and one of his sons had wrestled on another team, and I saw him all the time. I used to see him and I'd be like, I'm not going to get that big. And so what was he, 400 and I was 312? And I'm almost looking at him and shame, like, wow, how did he let himself get there when I was there and I couldn't even see that? And I know that we didn't get on the live to have a real talk right now. I know that you guys are like, where's he going, or what's he doing? But just wanted to let you guys know that I know what it's like to be morbidly obese and to be ashamed of it and to still put the shame on other people and to come up with excuses of why I'm the way that I am and to come up with all of the issues and problems and the reasons why. I can't tell you how many times I said I was going to start on Monday, and then Monday would come around and I'd have a hiccup and I'd say, well, I'll get to it next Monday. And those Mondays would never come. And so, we are all in a rough world. And I accidentally found intermittent fasting. It was a total accident. It is luck that I stumbled across it. Some of you might even call it fate that I stumbled across it. But if I was sick and didn't go to work one day, I'd be an overweight person and I wouldn't have this channel to help people, and that doesn't go over my head. I fully realize that each and every one of you has come into my life either because they need my support, because they're here to support other people that they've been through, or because they're thinking about doing something about a situation that they're not happy about in their life. And it doesn't slip past me to know that I am here to be a part of that journey because, you might have accidentally found my channel. If you would have gotten sick, you may not have clicked on it and it may not have been able to help you. And so if I can do that for, as many people as possible, I can make a difference. And so when I move on to the other side, I will have been able to have helped other people. And that's what it's really all about. And so I think that, Rome, and I said it in other lives and I've said it in other videos, but Rome wasn't built in a day, guys. Rome took a long period of time to make, and so do you. And so it's not going to happen overnight. But if you can stop eating often, just like our ancestors did, just like the people before us did, if you can not make food the center of your life and make living the center of your life and make food a part of it, and that part of it's special, don't get me wrong, but special in a better way than it is now, where it's just accessible and easy and we can have it at all times. If you force yourself into resisting against that and you put yourself into a situation where you can limit that issue, it's going to change everything and you're going to be a better person because of it. That much I can promise. You're going to live longer and you're going to be able to love better because you're a more healthy person. And that's what it's all about. And it's not about the scale and it's not about the clothes or the Instagram poses. It really isn't. And you may think it is. And that's why the loose skin question kind of every time I cringe a little, because it's like, stop with the loose skin, because it's about you existing longer on this planet. And then now, as we build an army of people, as we build a group of people that understand and that are educated with what fasting can do for them and educated on what overeating can do with them, as we build that army of people, we have a chance to take that army of people and march forward and change everybody, but we can't build momentum if I don't have a channel and if you don't spread the word and if we don't have live chats and if we don't create discords and if we don't communicate and we don't support each other, we can't grow the army the way that we need to. But we need to grow it, and we need to grow it in a positive way. And I'm here for all of you. Now, I've got way rambling and I've missed like 45 posts. So I'm trying to scroll up here and check them out. Everybody in your family. Okay, I saw that. Let me cruise down. Okay. Your husband and family almost all diabetic. That's the DB. That's just sad. I hope that we can get to a point where it's not that way. Diabetes is what I'm afraid of. Me too, Paul. Now looking back at it, I was so ignorant with the diabetes thing, man. I was just so ignorant. I know I rambled on a story there, but to think that I just almost thought it was like, whatever, I'm not there. I'm this close, but I'm not there. That's just crazy. You got to post more videos. John will, man, and I got your back, John. I can help you out. And if you want some advice and stuff, John, send me an Instagram message like you did this morning. I'll get back to you and I'll help you out on however I can on spreading the word, and letting people know about your journey. It's nothing but a good thing. People find out fasting when it's the right time. In a lot of ways, you're right. I mean, I didn't even know it was the right time when I found it, but it worked out well. I do think that it's something that is to be said, is that if the person's not ready to lose weight, they won't. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about in the shaming video I did. If you get off here and you haven't seen it, go check that out. But in that shaming video, one of my main points that I wanted to make to people was that if they're not ready, calling them fat isn't going to make them ready. It's just not, and I know there were several times when I wasn't ready and people would say stuff and it would just make me feel worse and probably delay me from progressing. So, at the end of the day, they have to be ready. And I know there are people that watch my channel and watch my videos that don't do any fasting at all. They're thinking about it. And they're deciding whether or not this is something they want to do. And it's the reason why I'll say, hey, these are the benefits. These are this, and these are the, because I want one day to reach out and say that one thing that makes that viewer say, I got to do this. I have to do this. And if I can get them to do that, then it's good to go. And 08 Dark, man, I'm your yoga. I appreciate it, man. I will continue to be your yoga, and I will do my best, John, to continue to motivate. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, everybody have a great night. All right, thanks for joining us. Yes, he has all of you guys in the morning is motivational. Your videos are playing and tackling the morning, man. I appreciate it. I try to hit those. Thank you so much, Healthy Highway, man. My man Randy. Randy, I love you, brother. You guys, Randy is the guy, man. My personal weight loss buddy. I just shouted him out in one of my videos. If you haven't checked out Randy's channel, support him. And John, Randy, John, if you guys don't know each other, say hi to each other in the chat, support each other because you both got channels. And same thing with Zero 08 Dark. You guys, all three support each other, man. You're going through it. But Randy's kind of on the other side of the mountain. He's lost 132 pounds, so he's helpful. And nobody's going to support you more than Randy Trucker. That guy, he's my weight loss buddy, man. He always has been, and there are so many people that go to him on his channel. And yes, he may not have the subscribers that I have or whatever, but what he does have is the people that have been there for him will continue to be there for him. And Zeb, it's nice to have a better name to call you, man, because your YouTube handle was a little difficult. Zeb, I could deal with, man. Good to meet you, Zeb. So John, Zeb, and Randy, my crew. But Randy, he's going to be there. He's going to talk to you. He's going to call you out in his videos. He's going to make sure you're losing weight. He's going to hold you accountable. He's going to be there for you in a positive way. And so you guys definitely go check out Randy if you haven't done so. And thank you, Randy, for the super chat. I love you, brother. Fatty liver diagnosis came first for you when you were pre-diabetic years ago. No one checked pre-diabetes with a fatty liver, but it probably was. Listen, fatty liver is an interesting thing too, because fatty liver back in the day, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but it was thought to be an alcoholic thing. So if you were an alcoholic, you tended to have a fatty liver, and it was something that people only thought of as an alcoholic thing. But at the end of the day, it ended up being a lot more than just alcoholics. And so just with a little teeny bit of fasting, you can change that around too. I want to get into the science a little bit of that since it got brought up here. Maybe it deserves its own video, but my mom, which is 73, was diagnosed with a fatty liver. And she mentioned it to me, and I talked to her about fasting, and I got her doing a little 16 and 8, a little warrior for a while. I don't think she's doing it anymore, unfortunately. But she was diagnosed with that fatty liver, and she did the fasting for a while, and she went back to the doctor. She didn't say anything to the doctor about it. And she did all of her blood work and everything, and she came back not having a fatty liver anymore. And her doctor was like, whatever you did, keep doing it. And, and so you can reverse it. No doubt at 70, probably 2, she reversed her fatty liver. Now, with that said, I want to explain and take a half a second to explain a fatty liver, like I do with sleep apnea. So when your body is overweight, when you're storing fat, you don't just store fat on your outside. Women store it in their hips and their thighs and in their breasts, and men store it in their gut mainly. And some women store it in their gut. And it just goes in, and those are the main areas that you see the fat pile up. But what you don't see is as you grow larger on the outside, you actually start storing fat on the inside. And you can store fat in your heart, your throat, your liver. Every major organ can store fat. And when you store it in your liver, it creates all kinds of problems. And when you store it on your heart, it creates all kinds of problems. And so they say in men, you can tell they have the hard, big, huge stomachs that feels like if you punched your hand's going to break. They don't look like flabby. They're just this big mountain of a gut. That's visceral fat. And that most of the time that is backed up by their organs being fat. But there are people that have heart attacks and die of fatty livers that aren't overweight at all. When you look at them, they're at a normal BMI, but their body has stored the fat inside of them, and they just drop dead out of nowhere. So the good news is most of the time, though, if you're exercising, walking, doing whatever you're doing, the first place you're going to lose the weight is from your organs. You're going to lose it from your organs most of the time before you lose it from your outside, and definitely the majority of your outside weight. So if you lose 125 pounds, you may lose 40 pounds outside before you go inside. But then once your body says, okay, we're definitely losing weight here. This isn't a joke. We're dropping weight. We need to start burning fat for energy. It'll go to your organs first because it knows that it doesn't want weight there. And so I think that that's a positive thing. And I think you can turn that fatty liver around pretty quick. And, I don't think it's a life-threatening situation. So 47 people, 45 likes. Come on, give me the 50. Give me some likes, peeps. All right. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us, DB. Appreciate you. Let me see. Okay. Anybody else notice that when you lose weight, it starts in your limbs and your face first? It can. You just never really know. Like I feel like I lose weight in my face last, actually. My face thins up towards the end of my weight loss. But I think everybody's different. And I don't know. I think I noticed it the most in my stomach. My stomach was big though, man. I mean, I had a big old gut. I noticed it in my shirt sizes. The last place I noticed it was my pant sizes. So that's actually the waistline, but my shirt started getting smaller. And then, I didn't notice it in my face, but if you do go back and look way back in my weight loss videos, I had a beard. I started growing a beard the day I lost weight. My beard was about right here before I shaved it. So I think I'm actually going to shave in the next day or so I can have some clean, fresh shaven videos for you guys this upcoming week. But with that said, so maybe my face had thinned out a lot, but I definitely didn't notice it as often as I did in other places. But again, I think each person is different. You notice the same thing. Well, that's good. One thing too about the pants, a couple bit of advice there for you guys that are losing weight. One thing, don't rush out and buy pants. Every time you lose a size, just get a belt and get excited every time that belt moves down. I had a belt and I wish I still had it. One of my regrets is giving away a lot of my old clothes because I can't show people now how much a difference in size are. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I have a picture of me. I think it's on my Instagram with my son standing in my wedding pants. And there's a picture of me at my wedding, and there's a picture of me and my son now in my wedding pants. And I can fit him at 10 years old and myself in the same picture, in the same pair of pants I was wearing. But I had a belt, and I remember I was on the last notch of the belt. And as I lost weight, I moved it down and down and down. And I got to a point where I had to start making notches for the belt. And then I just took it off and I switched belts. Well, I didn't mess with that belt forever. I went back and picked up that belt probably 3 or 4 months ago. And it was so huge. I could put it on its last notch and I could still stand both my sons inside of that belt. So it's just amazing to think that, you can change that much in 11 months, in 11 amazing months. One quick thing, a lot of people say weight loss is hard. But it took me to get to 312. It took me from 20 years old at a fit weight to 40 years old or 39 years old. So it took me 19 years to get morbidly obese the way that I was. It took me 11 months to fix it. 11 months. So we get caught up with time and we shouldn't. 11 months is nothing. If it takes you 4 years to lose the weight, that's amazing. Lose the weight. Don't get hung up on time. Just keep grinding the weight off and keep doing the right thing day in and day out, and you'll get there. So, yeah. Well, hey, look, Zeb, the beard was pretty glorious. I'm sorry you couldn't grow one, but man, I kind of miss it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should grow back. Wrestling season's coming up. I could not shave all wrestling, or No Shave November's coming up. Check that out. No Shave November. Maybe I'll grow it out for No Shave November. So, unfortunately, whatever you said, Nancy, it's restricted, and my chat isn't working, so I can't see whether or not to post it. I'm sure it's fine, but I'm actually reading it off of my phone and not off of the thing. So where I'm at is where I have the restriction ability to let it through or not. So I don't know what you said. I'm sorry. Are you right or wrong? You don't find any young people on YouTube in their 20s or 30s doing OMAD. No, I think you're probably right. I think that Young people are getting into intermittent fasting, but I don't know if I've seen any YouTube channels that are young. I know my demographics have very few people in it that are 20 and under. So my demographics go 20 and up. Most of them are in their 40s and 30s, but in my demographic. But so I don't know that a lot of young people also um, are trying to lose weight. Even if they're overweight, they're still feeling young and good. And so I don't know. But no, there's not a whole lot of young people doing it. Not a whole lot of young people fasting, but I do think that'll change. I think the younger people have all heard of intermittent fasting. I know most of my wrestlers have heard of it before I ever mentioned it. And so I think it's going to grow. And I think the young people are much more accepting than the older generations. But I think the older generations are the ones practicing. So, that's just something to be considered. But I definitely think it's going to be okay. Let's see here. Your 30 birthday was 29.9. Okay. Well, happy belated birthday also, man. We, appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you so much. You're under 30 and you're doing OMAD. There you go, Rose. Tell them. Ain't nothing wrong with doing OMAD at any age, man. I think it's good I wouldn't do OMAD if you're growing, but the day you stop growing, go ahead and do OMAD. You got to think you're either catabolic or you're anabolic at all times. You're either growing or you're shrinking, one or the other. And if you're in your growing mode, you don't want to be in a situation where you're not giving yourself food to grow, unless you're morbidly obese, and you got to do what you got to do. But I do think, that's there. So, Ariel, let's see. One good tip to drinking lots of water during your OMAD benefits, no headaches. Yeah, no, water's always a good thing to do, no doubt about it. You're 23. See, there you go. 23 years old doing OMAD. It never felt great 3 days in a row. Hey, Ariel, it's going to get better too. The more days you do it, the better you're going to feel. No doubt about it. Just keep on grinding. Of course, if Rose ever did a channel, of course, I'd be the first one to subscribe, Rose. You know that. I got your back. So, we'd all love to see that. But with that said, you think Rachel Sharp's in her 20s? She's probably in her 20s doing alternative day fasting. If you've never seen her channel, it just blew up recently. Fledge Fitness covered her, and she just took right off. But I watched her channel a long time before Fledge did it. She does alternative day and other kinds of fasting too mixed in there. She's lost over 100 pounds. So there are some young people. And if you look at a lot of the young fitness people, a lot of them do 16 and 8. I think 16 and 8 is something that the young fitness industry is generally, most of them are doing these days for sure. What health benefits have you seen since you started doing HOMAD? Oh man, listen, Cameron, I got rid of sleep apnea. I feel better. I'm now walking 15,000 steps where I wasn't walking at all. I'm sleeping 6 hours a day instead of 10 hours a day. I feel better energy. I've saved more time, which allowed me to start this YouTube channel. It's allowed me to put effort into this YouTube channel. I'm not as angry as I used to be. I feel younger than I used to feel. My body doesn't hurt. Every once in a while, because of my bad leg and not being able to straighten it, I'll trip and I'll fall. And before, it would take me out of work for a week when I had a fall or something. My body would be killing me. Now I trip and fall, and the next day I'm fine. My inflammation is a million times better. I think more clearly for sure. Lose my keys less often, things like that. So more or less, what hasn't OMAD done for me? How about we put it that way? Hopefully that answers your question. I know there's many, many, many more things that OMAD has done, but I just, off the top of my head right this minute, I can't think of any right now. You're 19 and you're doing OMAD, man, that is what I'm talking about. Bella, good job, man. You just keep grinding. I got your back. Just let me know what you need. Your legs are losing, and I think you lose weight. Unfortunately, a lot of things too, just so you guys know, a lot of times they'll say burn belly fat quicker, or burn the fat off your butt, or burn, fat on your shoulders, or whatever it is. You can't do it. You can work out whatever you want to work out. Your body will burn whatever fat it finds appropriate, period. There is no way to burn a certain area more than another. Over the course of time, it's going to equally burn it all out anyways. So unfortunately, it could burn the area you want last. And that's just the way it is, man. You just got to keep grinding until you get there. It means God, okay. Yeah, it's definitely awesome to hear some young people turning it up in the chat, doing some intermittent fasting. That's amazing. And I'm glad you guys are part of this channel. You ever heard you're supposed to drink your weight in ounces a day? No, I mean, a lot of people say 8 glasses. A lot of people do a gallon of, say, a gallon of water. I know when I drink a gallon of water, which I've done several times in this journey, I have to pee too much and it's very uncomfortable. I think you got to drink enough to where you feel okay. And I know that may sound like a cop out. It's not. It's really what I believe. I think you got to figure that out and drink when you're thirsty. Yeah, there you go, John. Don't overthink it, but don't underdo it either. Don't just drink 1 glass of water and be like, I'm fine. That's not going to cut it. So you just got to kind of find your balance. Thinking about it, like I said, Rose, I'll be the first one subscribing. You just send me a DM, let me know you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on Instagram, tweet me something. You know what I'm saying? Email it, brother. Drop it in my comments. But I want to be the first subscriber if you end up doing it. Yeah, okay, let's see here. You have some, whoa, that popped up, loosely wings underneath your arms now. You need to do some exercising. Yeah, I mean, hey, just keep working at it. See what happens. Yeah, it's pretty much the way it is. Okay, John, you said there's some days you drink more than others. Yeah, I think that's another thing too. If you're going to be out walking, you're going to be out doing your thing. You got to be able to get that down. People relate to me as redheaded little. Ironically, Ariel, my wife's favorite movie was The Little Mermaid. So there you go. Ain't nothing wrong with being the Little Mermaid. I think there's a lot of women out there that want to be mermaids. I know my wife wanted to be a mermaid when she was a little girl. She even has a blanket that has you pull it up and it has a mermaid tail on it. So nothing wrong with being a little redheaded from there. So electrolytes do help with the headaches, no doubt about it. You can add them if you need to. Yeah, the live's going good, Outlaw. We appreciate you joining us. I know you're busy, man, and thanks for stopping through. If you guys I got a few more minutes, so if you want to hit up a question, throw it down now. I want to let you guys know that I do plan on dropping a video on Friday, and I plan on dropping a video on Saturday or Sunday, most likely Saturday, and break on Sunday and hitting one on Monday. Unless you guys tell me different, next Wednesday, same time, same back channel, I'll go live again. It seems to be going well on Wednesday nights. So as long as you guys are supporting me, I will be here for you, and we'll continue to grind and make it happen. Another thought is, we did mention it earlier, but I am considering hitting up a Discord. If you guys want to be a part of that, let me know after we get off here when I end the stream in the comments. That you're excited about the Discord, something you'd want to do. I have to figure it out. The only Discord I really know about is the Pokemon Discord that I'm involved in my Williamsburg community, because I love Pokemon. Y'all don't play Pokemon, I'm sorry, man. Pokemon's the bomb. But I know a lot of people use Discord, and a lot of people use it to create communities around a lot of different things. And I think a support community, the Weight Loss Warriors, would be outstanding. The Facebook group thing, I feel like has been there and done that. I'd like to do something that's a little bit more where we can DM each other. If somebody's going through something, you can reach out to them personally. You don't have to just write them with the group. Something that we can kind of have a little bit more instant communication if we need it. And we can share things like recipe ideas, just all. I think that the possibilities of a Discord, a Weight Loss Warrior Discord, are endless. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Let me check the comments and see what's going on. If anybody's got any stuff, it'd be cool to start a Reddit so that we can post photos of our progression. I think, look, on our Discord, Ariel, we can do it. If we have a Discord, we can have one of our hashtags to be progress photos. And then you can post them on there as just to be like hashtag progress photos, and you click on it and it's everybody's progress photos. So, and then we could have hashtag questions. We could have I can do future videos. So when I record a video, I can let the Discord know that it's been recorded and what date I'm posting it. So I can say, I'm doing this video, this video, this video, this video. You guys can have questions about it. We can do video premieres where I premiere a video and sit on Discord and talk to you guys when it drops. I mean, the opportunities with the Discord, I think, could be endless. It's not something I really thought of until one of the other Pokemon YouTubers was talking about how he's doing a Discord for mental health. And I thought, you know what? Why can't I have a support Discord for my warriors? So I don't know. I haven't done enough research. It wouldn't be something I could do overnight. But I think if we take some time and give me a couple of weeks, maybe I can get a Discord up and running, and that can be something that we can share and work together on, and really create a community that's great there. So looking forward to the videos. I got lots coming, man. I'm definitely gonna. I definitely got some good topics I want to talk about, some good things I want to talk about. It's funny that YouTube picks up some of my videos now and puts them out there. I know you guys don't pay attention or understand a lot of this if you haven't done a YouTube channel, but they have impressions, and that's where YouTube puts your video in front of people's faces. And then you get a click-through rate of how many people actually click on your video, and your thumbnails are supposed to be a big part of that. My click-through rate, according to everything I read, is unbelievably outstanding, and YouTube still doesn't put it out there as much as I want them to. But then randomly the other day, they took my video with the new studies and put it out in front of everybody, and I got a lot of new subscribers. Hopefully some join me tonight. So I appreciate YouTube doing that. That video grabbed 3,000 views in like 48 hours, and it was a killer, feedback. But the next video and the next video, they didn't drop it. They only put it out for that video. They put out in front of like 20,000 people. And the last video they put in front of 8. So I don't know when and why YouTube does what they do. All I know is if we comment and we like, and that's going to grow. And the one bit of advice I've heard lately is if you guys comment on each other's comments, it helps too. If we create a community of people that are chatting in my comment section, it helps. So if you guys want to do me a favor this week, go through the comments, pick 3 people out and comment on their comment, and that way, and not just a good comment, and I know I'm guilty of doing that to you guys sometimes, but there's so many of you, and I want to make sure I let you know that I read your comment and that I care. But if we can say something back to them that creates them to say something back to you, it's just going to push it out to more people. And the more people that hit that thumbs up, like the 50, if we keep that number coming up and hit the goal of 100 on this video, that's going to go out in front of more people, which creates more subscribers. It creates more warriors. We can continue to have a growing community of people, and that's amazing. So I appreciate all of you in doing that. So that's just something to think of. Yeah, it sounds good to you. Okay, awesome. You're doing research on videos. Okay. Science. Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Fong. Okay. On a final note, Rhonda Patrick, I don't know if you knew, but Rhonda Patrick is the one that I caught accidentally that got me on this journey. So without Rhonda Patrick, there would be no Taking Down Fat with C-Dub. So, Rhonda Patrick's amazing. I got her on my Twitter as well. So I think Rhonda is doing her best, to spread the word, just like Dr. Fong and so many other great people. It's just a matter of continuing to do so and continue to grow the community and support each other, which I know all of you are doing. I appreciate all of you. So first, I want to thank all of you guys for joining me tonight. It means a lot that we were able to hit 50 people, which is the most I've had at one live sitting at one time. So maybe next week we can get to 60. What an amazing thing that would be. I hope that in the next 24 hours, we can get those likes that are at 51 and continue to grow them up. So if you're watching the replay, smash that like button up there so that we can continue to let YouTube know that this channel is important, and we're a community of people that want to grow it, and we're a community of people that want to change the world. So, and then each and every one of you, I appreciate, you guys coming in here, chatting with me, and being a part of this journey is amazing. We are changing not just our own lives, but the lives of so many others. Thank you so much for being a part of that. And I'm going to keep trying to grind out good content for you guys. Please keep watching. Please keep commenting. Please keep subscribing. Please keep sharing it with your friends. If you find somebody that wants to be on a weight loss journey, say, hey, listen, check this guy out. I'll give you an example. My dad had a guy in the gym that was overweight that was at the gym every day working out. And the guy mentioned to my dad, I can't lose weight. He said, it's kind of frustrating. I've been here every day for 3 months. I've been overweight my whole life. My dad wrote down taking down fat with C-Dub, said, look this up when you get home, check him out. Guy came back, didn't say anything to my dad for a while, went to the gym, was working out. My dad passed him, said, you're looking good. He turned around and said, I'm down 60 thanks to that guy C-Dub. My dad said, that's my son. And he said, really? And he was like, yeah. An amazing story. The guy is losing weight, changing his life because somebody reached out and showed him my content. So, if you know somebody, spread the word to them. If they're ready to lose weight, obviously don't be like, you're fat, you need to lose weight. That's not the way to roll. But, if you find somebody that says, man, I'm trying to lose weight, say, hey, I got your back, man. Check out this guy. Share it on your social medias. I love you guys. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to check out the comments and then head out of here real quick. So everybody have a good night. Everybody's giving the good nights. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I will check you. I'm not posting tomorrow, but I will have a great video for you on Friday. You guys, make sure you check it out. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button on our way out. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace. Let me hit this end button. Thanks again.